the resources that are out there, one that I use quite often, um, and I know they're available nationwide, is called SBDC, the Small Business Development Corporation. Best part is it doesn't cost you an additional dime because it's already paid for through your taxes and it's funded by the SBA. And you get a one-on-one counseling session, and they help you from anywhere from getting your business plan in place all the way to your exit strategy, really everything in between. You could be in a mature business where you're up and running for a couple of years, and you're thinking about expanding and growing. You can run it by your counselor. Hey, look, we're thinking about expanding to a second location, or we're going to want to hire like 5 more people. What does that look like? And they kind of help you run the numbers, and they give you real efficient, real-time data, things like that. It's an invaluable asset for, again, zero cost. So it's amazing. Just things like that, it can be invaluable to a business owner just starting out.
And kind of a one to pair up with that is the Veteran Business Outreach Center that are in different areas to reach out to the VBOC. That they can help you also as far as plugging into different resources that are available.
Correct. Yeah, I do speaking engagements with VBOC. I do speaking engagements with SBDC. Our SBA office down here has a veterans resource outreach. I speak at a lot of those. Yeah.
Excellent. So how would you say that your personal values and your belief systems play a role in your business? And then to kind of go along with that is, how would you advise a new person going into business to integrate those into their own?
I'm sorry, say again. You kind of broke up on me.
How do your personal values and beliefs play a role in your business? And how would you advise others to incorporate their own beliefs and values into their business?
Again, I think as veterans, we're cut from a different cloth, that are, and I know, like I said, I'm a follower of Christ. So, the Bible says, let your yes be your yes, let your no be your no. So you have to, I answer obviously to God. So, I like my eternal, my eternal 401k is, at stake. But all joking aside, the thing that I said, the thing that cuts us apart from everybody else, that, we're not going to, especially if we're working for a veteran, like one veteran to another, we're not going to let our brother or sister down. We're going to have their sticks. You know what I'm saying? They're depending on us. So therefore, we're going to do our job. Just that having your sticks mentality that veterans have that the civilians don't. Civilians, say one thing, do another. Oh yeah, I'll take care of that tomorrow, and then they, blow it off or whatever, because they have no ethics. You know what I mean? Or veterans, I'm not saying every veteran is perfect. Of course, there's people out there, whatever, but for the most part, the mass majority of veterans, if we say we're going to do something, bet your ass we're going to do it. So, so I really think that cuts us apart. And then also just myself, it's like, I try to, I'm not giving a farm away. I'm making money. Don't, let's not get that twisted. I'm here to make money. But at the same time, I'm not going to, my reputation and my word mean more to me than my profit margin. So if I can help somebody out and I can help them generate revenue, I get a lot of satisfaction from that. But like I said, let's not get twisted. I make money as well. But I'm not so much worried I'm not as concerned of the paycheck. As I am about, okay, am I doing the right thing for this particular? And I'm not the right suit for everybody. Okay. Some people may not need my services. So, or they may, have, what, and that's fine. But if I can help them, and maybe with another, maybe the experience I had, like I said, in the financial industry or anything like that, I can, or get them pointed in the right direction, maybe, talking to them about, VBOC or something like that, then, maybe I'll try to help them out that way. So I think that kind of, like I said, kind of cuts to the heart. A lot of times, especially when you get into the business world, it's all about what's my paycheck going to look like? What's my, so
yeah.
I think a lot of civilians do that, so I think that kind of makes it a little bit different.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah, it's because we're really should be here to be servant leaders, and so we're helping each other, and in the process, after we help enough people, we're going to be okay. And so just changing that focus like you're saying, instead of focusing on the money aspect, focusing on, basically blessing other people to the degree that you bless enough people and you're going to be blessed as well. And it all works out. It's just, that's the way the world is. That's the way God created it. And it's great.
That's God's provisional God. So as long as we're doing it by His standards, by His rules, then we're going to be all right.
Very true. Very true. Faith, family, finances, as I say.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's something maybe earlier in your life you wish you had done that you didn't or would have done differently?
I don't like to look in the rearview mirror as much and say what if, and maybe what if I had got my full ride to play football and got in the NFL or whatever. If I do that, okay, I wouldn't be who I am right now. Okay.
True.
So, and I wouldn't have gone down the path of life that I have a beautiful wife, beautiful children, I'm very blessed. So I guess I know I am, I try to adapt to where I know I am a very, headstrong. I'm very, I see the target, take the target down kind of thing. Sometimes I don't count the cost. Sometimes so one thing I have grown, I don't think I would change anything per se, but one thing I have changed, I guess, throughout, being older and getting more wise, is that before I was so used to making decisions, like life and death decisions, since I was like 8 years old, literally, so I'm not used to having consulting partners and people and advisors. And that's where I'm learning even now, as my business is growing. I have, of course I consult with my wife now, first and foremost. And then I'm starting to consult with some mentors that are successful business owners, because obviously they've already been there and done that. So again, it's like, why should I, bang my head against the wall and, make every mistake in the world when I can learn from their mistakes, things like that. So I don't know if I would I don't think I would change anything from like my past, because of the fact that it may be who I am today, and it forged me to be the person I am today. But I would say to an inspiring, business owner or a new business owner, like myself, definitely have mentors in place that are already successful, and they'll talk to you, man. They will talk to you. They'll share things with you and things like that. I mean, some people won't, but a lot of times you'll see that people are pretty generous once they've already made it to a certain level. They'll sit down and have a cup of coffee with you and let you pick their brain for a while. You know what I mean? So that I think that's one thing that's pretty paramount. Get that mentorship going, and your way is not always going to be the best idea. So it's good to have. You don't want to have a bunch of yes sir people around. You want to have some people that have different views and different ways of doing things. Because like I said, I'm not super analytical. I'm just gung ho. I'm just go. So I have people in place that are more. They look at things from a different perspective, and they can guide me in certain things that I might override them sometimes, and so say, you know what, I didn't see it that way. I didn't see it, so let me take a step back and adjust. You know what I mean? So
sure. I'm totally spot on with you there. Now, I want to focus for a moment on some kind of personal directed questions. What hurdles did you have to face when you were transitioning out of the service that you had to overcome, and then going into entrepreneurship? What hurdles did you overcome to go into business?
Of course, the civilian world is obviously much different when you're used to dealing with military types, and you can be very blunt, direct, and you can use some colorful metaphors and get your message across, kind of thing. And that doesn't necessarily translate into civilian corporate world too well. And quite frankly, there's a bunch of hand holding and nanny kind of things going on here. They're crying about. They cry about whatever they cry about. We're like, are you serious right now? You got to be joking, Yep. So, and then, of course, that's why employers love hiring us. At the same time, we're kind of bulls in a china shop sometimes too. It's really, okay, we're going to break stuff. We're going to hurt people's feelings. So this is the way it is. Suck it up, drive on. So that was a hard reality to learn, like right off the bat. And then I'd say going into business, I guess I have an advantage that I've been in the financial industry for so long that I kind of, know I have like different networks and I have different things in place, but at the same time, now it's like, okay, you have to think, okay, now this is on me. This is all on me now. I have to make everything go here. I am the marketing department. I am this, I am that. So if I'm not pushing, all these different areas, you have to wear all those different hats. Well, it's the same way in the military too. You're wearing a lot of different hats. So you have to kind of make sure, so you're not, dropping the ball in, certain areas and things like that too. It's a little bit hard. Again, because like I said, sometimes you try to rely on people, like you try to delegate sometimes to somebody who maybe is civilian. And again, you might run into that guy, like, oh yeah, I'll take care of that for you. And then, hey, 3 weeks later, hey, where's it at? Oh, well, you know what I mean? So
Sure. Yep.
That's like I said, that's kind of a tough part of transitioning out too. That not everybody has the same work ethic and code that we have.
That's true. So, were those things kind of obvious to you when you were starting your business and during that transition period, or did you stumble upon the answers that came to you?
As far as what? Anything in particular?
Like the things you had to overcome when transitioning from military service into the civilian world, and then also starting your business, things you had to overcome. Was that kind of obvious, or you sort of hit the wall a few times and figured out as you went?
Oh, I hit a lot of walls then, because like I said, when I was in the military, okay, I was I was actually in the Air Force and the Army. So when I was in the Air Force, I was what's called Air Base Ground Defense or Security Specialist. It was their version of the infantry, and I trained with the Army all the time. I was always deployed with the Army, and then when I went into the Army, I was what's called a 13 Foxtrot or a forward observer. None of that translates into business finance, and none of that definitely translates into marketing and social media. So even just learning how to build a website. I learned how to build a website. Like I said, God was my IT guy. So, God just gave me this idea for this, gave me the logo, gave me the slogan, you produce, we promote, we got your six. He gave me all that. I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, I could do that. And then, get onto the computer and start making a website. It was kind of like the Matrix. Like, hey, I know Kung Fu. Just start going out and start playing around with WordPress and figuring it out and, throwing some pictures on there. Like, hey, okay, that worked. Wow, cool. Okay, well, that didn't work. I got to go back and, blow that up and start over, kind of thing. So, like I said, it's tough having to, at very first, like I said, because you are wearing all the hats, you got to really stretch in areas you don't necessarily want to stretch into. I love to sit back and just, have meetings and talk to people. And this is me. This is what I do. Have conversations and, set those relationships and, get those relationships in place. The IT side and all that kind of stuff, I'm starting to, being able to delegate some of that stuff now, that's taking a huge load off me. And that's the thing too, is like, I think when you're a business owner, you got to know who you are. Okay. There are some people. I got a phone call there about this. Are you still with me?
Yeah. Yep. We're good.
Okay. Sorry about that. So, all right. So when you're a business fan, type of person that you are, let's say you're a CPA, right? Mm-hmm. And you're a very, numbers kind of person, kind of thing. You're not necessarily, an extrovert. Like networking is not really your thing. Okay. So you got to think, okay, what are my strengths? My strengths are obviously, the analysis side. I'm going to be sitting here. I can plow through numbers all day long. What are my weaknesses? I'm not a networker. I'm not an extrovert. So you need to get people in place that can help you, because like I said, without those people that are out there, marketing for you, out there showing off your brand, nobody's going to know what you're doing. So you got to have those people in place, or vice versa. Like I said, I'm the talker. So, I'm the face of the company. So I can go out there all day long and talk about Vets for Biz and what we do and how we help veterans. But when it comes to transitioning back into the website, yeah, I built a website and did all that stuff. But now I have an even better website because I found a person I can rely on and work on. So they took care of the website for me, my buddy Patrick. So got that even more squared away. So now that I know, okay, when it comes to that, that's something I can delegate. Now I can drive forward more. So That's the one thing I said at first too. You know, you are going to wear all those hats, but know what your strengths are, know what your weaknesses are, and have good people around. And like I said, it's just like anything else. Like I said, when we're, you know, your squad,